how does a grappling hook change racing?
Well, it's actually great. First of all, it's one of Sackboy's abilities. It totally makes sense to bring it into a karting game, and it actually works really well. So you can make the choice as a player. Do I want to go down and around this obstacle? Oh, there's a grapple sponge up there. Let me take a jump up, attach to it, and I can swing right over the hazard. It's really great for exploration as well. You can use it to find alternate routes. You can use multiples of them skillfully. You can pull them all in order. You can make it onto a shortcut. It's also great for collection. You've seen that we have prize bubbles in the game.
Yeah.
So you got to swing up and try to figure out how to get that prize bubble. Well, use a grapple. We've got score bubbles in the game. So sometimes you can take use a grapple hook, attach it to the sponge, and make the right swing. You collect a bunch of score bubbles, which attributes to your score. So it really adds a lot in the sense that there's exploration, and it's really exciting. Just swinging through and smashing, taking out other players.
Sure, adds extra mayhem, I guess.
Absolutely.
And how do you create a game like this so that, on the one hand, it's because this is a family game, right? How do you make it so that on the one hand anybody can pick up the controller and play, Aunt Mabel, Uncle Bob, but still make it rewarding for more skilled players over time to keep honing their skills?
Yeah, so I mean it's just it's a challenge, but it's a challenge that we accept, right? So first of all, it starts with the accessible controls. Do you have to use all 8 buttons on the controller? No, you don't. You can get along with the basics, which is just driving, firing weapons, and steering, right? And through the types of weapons that you can collect, those are some of the equalizers, right? So you might catch a weapon at the back of the pack that lets you slow everybody else down, or lets it catch everybody up. So really, the way that the AI is competitive, what the weapons bring to the table, it really is kind of that equalizing experience that lets players of all skill sets play with each other and still be able to compete. Now there's definitely some added depth, the ability to defend against incoming weapons. You can actually rear fire a weapon to attack backwards. If you rear fire a weapon at the right timing, you can intercept an incoming weapon and defend yourself against it. There's also finding, the replayability, being able to find and collect all of the items that are in there, explore all of the alternate routes, hidden shortcuts, to really be able to master the experience that you got. So it's very accessible initially, allows people to be competitive of all skill sets, but there's definitely tons of replay and depth for even advanced players to maintain their interest. And
you mentioned a lot of weapons, a lot of explosives that I've seen on the screen. How important is mischief to a game like this?
Well, I think it's pretty important. I mean, look, it's been part of Little Big Planet, right? I mean, Sackboy, he burns up and pops when he catches into a hazard, right? So how appropriate is it to have these little firecracker missiles flying through the air and just, when they hit Sackboy? So it's totally appropriate. It just makes sense.
And one of the things that was very popular with Little Big Planet as a puzzle game was stickers. The fact that you got stickers and outfits. Are those things still going to be in the karting world?
Absolutely. There's tons of unlockables within the single-player experience. There are certain prize bubbles that you can collect just by exploring the worlds that you're racing around in. There's prize bubbles that are rewarded for your performance, whether you get in first place, whether you make certain achievements of number of takedowns. So absolutely, there's tons of prize unlocking through exploration, progressing through the story.
And you can customize your own car. So does that mean flames on the side or different colors, or is it something a little more elaborate?
Well, it's very similar to the Sackboy customization. Think of the kart customization as an extension of Sackboy and your avatar in the game, basically. So it's very accessible with wholesale changes to whole kart bodies or costumes, but you also go in and fine-tune the design with stickers and decorations. You can switch out different wheel types. You can switch out different chassis types that you can turn a little lowrider sports car into a monster truck or into a tank or even a hover car.
A hover car. And is it all vehicles, or can you turn them into bumblebees, animals, that kind of thing?
There are some pretty wacky vehicles in there, in the sense we've got the Robobun from Little Big Planet 2, who's modified into a little bit of a cart. So there's definitely some creative elements. You'll see in a true craft world fashion, a lot of them are built out of phone objects. You've got Sackboy racing on a phone receiver, on a little tin can, on a peeled open anchovy can. So there's lots of really creative and wacky and fun, playful carts in the game.
And Craft World, of course, is supposed to be a world in which people build and make things, not just customizing the clothing. What opportunities are there for that in kart racing?
So everything that you're seeing here today in the game, you know, that competitive, that fun, that addictive karting experience that you're seeing in the game with drifting and boosting and offensive weapons, defensive weapons, the competitive AI, all that can not only be tuned to create your own kart racing, but all that stuff can be created for you to create varying karting experiences. So you can create your own weapon sets, you can create your own competitive AI, you can create rivalries within the AI that might just target you a little bit more aggressively than they target the other AIs. So there's definitely a breadth of tools that are available, and it's available for the first time in Little Big Planet in 3D for you to be able to create these expansive and immersive 3D environments. So there's tons of customization inside of this game outside of the character and the kart customization. And one of the great benefits of all of that is, you know, so what does that mean to you if you might not be interested in create it yourself? Well, that's fine. You could go online and you can see the thousands and thousands and thousands of creations that the community has shared for you to enjoy. So this isn't your typical kart racing game where you have like 10 to 15 circuit-based tracks that you just replay over and over with the preset of weapons. No, you go online, you see what the community's shared. You can race 10 to 15 different tracks every day if you wanted to. New ones every day with new weapon types. They don't even have to be kart races. You can enjoy whatever karting experiences the community decides to create.
Cool. And I understand that well, tell me why it was so important to have slap fighting included in the game.
It's just fun. It's just plain fun. I mean, similar to Little Big Planet, there's something mischievous and fun about just being able to smack your friends around and smack other characters around. So it just made sense to bring that into a karting game where you can pull up alongside of somebody and just give them a nice little smack.
Would you describe this as a party game?
Absolutely. Karting traditionally has always been social, very party-centric games, right? That whole couch experience with your little sister, your older brother, your uncle, family together. So we've got that couch experience where people can sit and play online or play on the couch together on split screen. They can go online and play online with other players in the community.